Hello everyone, welcome to the ASG Vision App presentation on Cloud Factory. My name is Thomas Müller, I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Vision App and I'm responsible for pre-sales in the ASG organization globally. Our agenda for today gets us through three main areas. The first area is to give you an overview what is the offering that we are going to bring to the table. After that is we're going to map our technology to the relevant use cases that we see in cloud computing where our solution adds significant value to customer requirements. Last but not least, I'm going to give you an overview of the architecture, the building blocks inside Cloud Factory, and then transition over to round this all up into a little demo that gives you some idea of how the different interfaces of Cloud Factory are going to interact with the end user or with the person that operates Cloud Factory. Let's start with a little overview of who we are, Vision App and ASG in this marketplace. If you could safely say that we're experts in cloud computing, in platform design, build and operations, then we put a little caveat down there, not to look too selfish, but this should give you an idea that in cloud computing, the journey that we have covered over the last probably 12 years in this market has gotten us to a number of significant experiences with customers all over this planet, and all these experiences were rolled into what we today offer to you as an integrated offering called Cloud Factory. We've seen a lot of mistakes, we've seen a lot of things going wrong, to be honest, and we're here to share that expertise, to share that knowledge with you, and hopefully help you to avoid all the pitfalls that we have seen in previous years while taking technology to the next level, starting to virtualize, to share infrastructure. And these experiences, which some namely expert Niels Bohr said about 80 years ago when he won the Physics Nobel Prize, he's Danish, he said that expert is someone who's made probably a significant number of mistakes in a certain area that he is working on, and if we claim ourselves to be expert, I think that is very reasonable to say that we have seen many things going wrong, and we're going to help you to avoid this. Over to our positioning in the market. We're working together with a number of research companies that look at Vision App ASG technology from an analyst standpoint. Just recently we've been reviewing our positioning with the Experton Group, one of the leading research groups in this market, and they have put us into a quadrant in comparison to other players in here. As you can see, Vision App in the upper right quadrant is positioned very well in regards to our portfolio, the integration, the offering itself, as well as to the competitive strengths that we are bringing to this marketplace through our technology and through our product. Where is this all based on? This is all based on previous experiences. And the previous experiences that we've made are just summarized briefly on these slides. Our journey has started in enterprise IT in the mid-90s when client-server computing was catching up. And client-server computing was a sharp contrast to the efficiencies that we've seen in centralized mainframe-style computing in previous years. So as probably most of you have noticed, is that the strong increase in headcounts, people in IT that support distributed client-server technology type systems has strongly grown within the last 10 to 15 years. And as a result of that, obviously, the main focus point for our initiatives to reduce the complexity and to lower cost is actually the operational effort of side of things. And to those adopters of new innovations and technology who are investing very strongly, typically have been banks part of that. And the banking groups that we've been working with since the mid-90s were those banks who act and operate globally. So our references started in the German marketplace with the first very large bank taking client-server to a distributed architecture, and then moving the distributed architecture very consequently back from a distributed decentralized system to a highly centralized systems. This banking group that we have started to pioneer decentralized technologies that we now form part of our cloud initiative is the Sparkassen Group, which is the savings banks in Germany, a very, very large retail banking group, probably the largest across Europe, with about 240,000 users in about 10,000 sites spread across Germany. Those banks are made up of 500 legally independent banks, so multi-tenancy has been inherently built into our solution since then ever. Also, we've been born as Vision App was born as a project inside one of the largest banks in Germany called Dresdner Bank. Dresdner Bank at the time had a new business strategy, wanted to see their corporate banking advisors working with clients on site, and that required a significant change to the delivery technology. Obviously, we could not offline all the mainframes, all the backend systems that we had at the time, and Vision App was the problem that took ASP type, application service provider type technology into the environment of Dresdner Bank in early 2000, and from there we evolved into a really truly global platform for Barclays, one of the largest and successful players in the global banking space. Barclays has taken us as an advisor and has chosen Vision App and ASG technology to power its global workforces with a new innovative global desktop. It's now been rolled out to more than 70,000 users, global seats in about 60 countries, and we've seen the most demanding, the most challenging infrastructure challenges ever, like serverless branches in a number of African countries and so forth. Across industries, we work with global organizations such as Daimler, and just recently German Airlines, one of the most successful operators in airline business, has chosen Vision App in 2010 to be their provider of the cloud platform technology that powers the global desktop, driven out of their 3 global data centers. And in this project, we have probably addressed such a significant number of functional and non-functional requirements that's probably worth saying that this is really helping us to ensure that our technology is matching real true customer needs. Our history of Vision App goes back in the age of the application service provider space. So we started our operations in 1999 with a deregulation of the broadband market in Western Europe, and we built one of the largest, one of the best funded ASP platforms at the time, and we took ASP to the Western European marketplace already successfully early 2000. So the market model wasn't ultimately successful. The technology that we needed to become an ASP are still very, very similar to what we see as requirements today in the cloud space. There were 3 essentially fundamental things as an ASP that we were working against from a design specification. The first design specification was that as an ASP we do not own the endpoint. That means we have to deliver all of our services through a component that is available on any endpoint, regardless being devices that are user-owned, laptops, desktops, or in today's world, those devices who are portable, mobile devices such as smartphones, iPhones, iPads, Android, honeycomb tablets type of devices. Our ASP technology was consequently taken from the telecom market into the corporate enterprise market. So we knocked on the doors successfully of those providers who provide IT services and helped them build shared services platform in early 2000 that delivered the infrastructure for many, many tens of thousands of end users. We revived in ASP in a SaaS type style of model. SaaS is software as a service, and we launched in 2008 early already a very successful software as a service business with our partner Deutsche Telekom, who is offering a broad range of subscribable services to end users in the SMB space, so namely around the 2 to 25 users. That's the main areas of business that Deutsche Telekom is selling the portfolio of about 30 to 40 SaaS type applications successfully too. And obviously, taking our technology further, we had to build in multi-channel technology with servicing a wide variety of endpoint devices, We provide aggregation of various application services, whether it was applications that were based on web technology, applications being based on Windows technology. As an ASP, we had to bring together technologies which were there. We were not in a position to rewrite applications and wait for a new type of application to be delivered. We were, and this is very similar to cloud requirements today, we have to deliver existing content, existing applications to end users. And this brings us to our philosophy, which is really truly any device, anytime, anywhere, in the right security context with the highest security levels that we can guarantee in a true multi-tenancy environment. Our service providers who operate globally, such as HP in Western Europe or T-Systems, Deutsche Telekom's our managed service provider, have looked at our technology and our experience and decided in the last 2 years that they want to adopt a one-to-one of our architecture, a one-to-one of our technology, to embrace this into their portfolio and offer it as a part of their delivery practice to end users. So with HP and T-Systems, we already have successfully delivered 10,000 of end users with centrally hosted services, subscribable business services that are hosted on multi-tenancy platforms in the organizations. So why would organizations be interested in having Cloud Factory to be used, for instance, in a private cloud? Just to explain the relevancy, we have broken down the typical IT budget that we see in customers' organizations globally into 5 different chunks. And from those 5 different chunks, probably the upper part, innovation projects, that is the key value driver to the business. Windows, networks, Unix, and mainframe are probably equally distributed in terms of the run cost throughout the spend in regards to CapEx and OpEx spend in organizations. What happens over time is that year by year, typically, the reduction of IT cost budgets leads to the reduction of the innovation projects. So our teams just keep the environment running, but have less time, have less money to innovate, and have hence no ability to give the business back the full value of their money that they're gonna hand over to corporate IT. Cloud Factory exactly addresses this demand by helping organizations to drive down significantly through optimization, mainly the cost for Intel-based systems, which is predominantly used by Windows systems, between 30 to 40%, depending on custom organization, by implementing a highly efficient new operational model and freeing up resources that can be redeployed against innovation projects. And that sets IT back in a position to really give full support to the business to utilize expenditures on software maintenance, software assurance, to deploy new innovations earlier than they can in the actual life cycle. So this is the working principle that we see arriving in organizations that have adopted Cloud Factory to optimize their model. In terms of headcounts, we see reductions in the operational demand in headcounts, mainly in the Windows space, by typically 50% to up to 65% of the operational effort, which is then redeployed against the project pipeline. So the overview of what we are doing in Cloud Factory is split into the infrastructure that gets implemented on customer premises. This is the private cloud. Infrastructure that is implemented off-premise as a public cloud is also supported coherently with the Cloud Factory. Cloud Factory was mainly built for the purpose to standardize the solution building blocks, the architecture, to build a standardized, repeatable set of infrastructure that serves all the predominant use cases that we can find in private cloud and public cloud demand. The interconnection between both models flexes both, so cloud bursting, seamless access to resources from on-premise implementations to resources that are implemented off-premise are also part of our delivery model, creating, from an end-user standpoint, an absolutely consistent user working environment, which allows him not to determine where application services are actually hosted and coming from. And this gives him the flexibility to really work where he is, whenever he wants, and to maximize the benefits of this flexible working model. Cloud Factory is built to control who gets what, when, where and how. It sits as the glue between the end user on the right hand side, who's using any type of device either managed through an organization, included into Active Directory at any corporate location, or a device that is not owned by the organization, that is unmanaged, an untrusted device, which supports the model to bring your own computer, bring your own device in different access scenario. Cloud Factory granular controls roaming and hot desking between all those type of devices and allows organizations really to tailor which applications can be accessed from which type of device. So for organizations with a very strong security demand, they can enforce dynamic policies that prevent users accessing data and application from the type of devices that are not fitting into the right security profile. On the left-hand side, we are finding enterprise services, so the hosting, the backend hosting of your databases, your application servers that sits on-premise or off-premise in the cloud data center. Cloud Factory is the service layer that ties both together the users to the applications hosted on the backend. The makeup of the Cloud Factory products is displayed in this diagram. So as you can see here, our Cloud Hub provides the seamless integration and core automation of the legacy systems. So either users coming in through the internet or through corporate network will have a single entry point into their cloud-based offerings, which is through a product from Vision App called Cloud Cockpit. This is the single pane of glass for end users, regardless of the type of devices they are using. It supports multiple kind of hosting technologies, so applications already being available through the browser based on HTTP, Java-based technologies can be accessed in a similar, consistent way, as well as Windows-based or mainframe-based applications that are hosted centrally. Cloud Robot is the engine that sits underneath and provides the full runbook automation, service automation, and IMAC automation. So all the costs for services are being driven down through the use of Cloud Robot, since you can delegate and hand over full control either to end users or to people who look after end users in a delegated model and implement a rich user self-service experience. Cloud Shaper, the third main product inside Cloud Factory, is our provisioning, our engine that actually executes deployments of infrastructure, is running the configuration management, holds the configuration information of the environment, and always configures the underlying environments to its target state. So Cloud Shaper really shapes the infrastructure for Windows-based and Linux-based systems. So that's the main focal point of our technology. The Cloud Factory platform is, as we already looked at, deployed typically in two deployment scenarios. One is the one that is the on-premise implementation with an enterprise that sits in the existing corporate data centers. It uses existing resources such as storage, virtualization, network, data center network, campus-based network, wide area network. There's another implementation that sits with service providers, so managed service providers who have outsourced operations to an organization, or those who are carriers and telcos who provide public cloud services to particular users such as small and medium businesses that are connected through their networks. This is the experience that we can see from an end user perspective. He gets a single pane of glass. He gets one view on his hosted cloud services that are hosted in either enterprise or in the service provider tier. What use cases are we supporting in Cloud Factory? It is mainly about 4 use cases that we're looking at. The premier use case for on-premise implementations and optimization is a combination of desktop virtualization, or we say cloud desktops, and server consolidation. Both use cases go hand in hand to optimize the IT in a private cloud environment. To separate both optimizations out of it typically leads to higher costs, so we enforce this as a standard practice, typically as a combined approach to consolidate front ends, to move applications from client side, from local infrastructure into centrally hosted data centers, creating environments that have less on-premise infrastructure, that have no service on-sites, serverless branches for banks, for instance, serverless production sites for automotive and manufacturing, including server consolidation to migrate and consolidate the logical instances of today's local infrastructure that still might persist. Software as a service is a use case where actually business can rent out any type of application, regardless being a Windows-based or already a browser-based application, through a user-friendly portal that is accessible from any browser. SaaS includes obviously a versatile billing model supporting postpaid and prepaid billing models, as well as SaaS is allowing telcos to build up new revenue streams for their businesses to support a true triple play strategy. Last but not least, infrastructure and platform as a service are offerings that are leveraging the powerful capabilities of Cloud Factory and its highly advanced provisioning technologies to create offerings that allow organizations, service providers, and carriers to create offerings that end users or IT teams can use to quickly scale workloads elastically based on demand. A true utility computing model is happening with Cloud Factory being in the underneath technology layer. Infrastructure and platform as a service both support very versatile billing models. That includes the accountability for hours of computing performance. The billing engine is available for integration with the existing operational and business support systems in the environments of our customer. Last but not least, this is all rounded up by a hybrid cloud model that supports cloud bursting, so moving capacity from an on-premise to an off-premise installation based on automated rules, where our infrastructure is making intelligence decisions based on actual performance counters, based on the capacity that is available in the local environment to cater for peak loads during campaigns, year-end processes, etc. So this is one of the key use cases that we see in combination across the different use cases. Additionally, we also allow organizations to hook up their Active Directory seamlessly to a cloud-hosted infrastructure, allowing users to single sign-on to hosted applications with their existing Active Directory credentials, not needing to single sign-on with the new infrastructure from the cloud additionally. That brings us to the point where, from an implementation perspective, three predominant implementation models are seen in the market using Cloud Factory. Private cloud is the deployment model that sits in existing data centers, leverages existing resources, and is built to a standard that is similar to those found in environments that are hosted off-premise. Through standardization, Vision App and ASG are able to provide a highly efficient support model for this technology, which is already used by about 500,000 users globally and about 20,000 customers globally. And this support model sets us in the position to provide a consistent, highly efficient support and guarantee the performance and the functionality of the systems. In a managed private cloud environment, a service provider in an outsourced scenario will take care of Cloud Factory on behalf of a customer. We have already a huge number of service providers that use services based on Cloud Factory in their delivery practices. The leading partners we're engaging with are currently T-Systems and HP in the Western European market space. We have providers such as Lufthansa Systems, Finance Informatics as our clients, plus a significant number of other players that use Cloud Factory for their delivery. Public cloud is the model where typically carriers, telcos, and managed service providers are running a public offering for software as a service where users can subscribe to hosted applications on a monthly basis, predominantly used in a postpaid billing model. And we're also providing infrastructure as a service with our partners, so the rental of cloud servers, cloud storage that is hosted on the public cloud offering. So what's our difference? Why would you choose and would be interested in working with Vision App? Our viewpoint on cloud is from the perspective of independence. So we allow you as a content provider, means you are the application service provider, to choose the right technology and to choose the right tools to use with. So we're not dictating the type of hypervisor to use with, we're not dictating you the type of application delivery technology such as streaming, application publishing, web hosting. We are bringing together, we are the first platform on the market that really spans across all the relevant parts of infrastructure today seen in there, and allows you to pick and choose the best matching technologies, the cost-efficient model to drive out an ultimate user experience. It all arrives at endpoints with a unified technology which is agnostic of the endpoint. We're providing stage security, secure two-factor authentication, and we're agnostic, as mentioned before, around the application delivery technology. Additionally, we are optimizing through Cloud Factory your operational model with I would call it a revolutionary operational model approach, which is a very small, very skilled, highly expertised team that runs the central services in a new operational structure. This skill transformation of operational staff leads to a reduced staff churn rate and brings you in a position that you can actually deliver a significant higher service quality of your hosted services. So all in all, most operational incidents will be resolved quicker, your environment is more stable, and the team has actually additional capacity to look into driving new innovations from this. We've seen this happening in the last 10 years, and we have significant examples that we can talk about how we achieve this operational efficiency compared to other operational models. This is the main differentiator in Vision App ASG technology. Our delivery model for Cloud Factory is based on 4 distinct offerings that focus on the use cases that Cloud Factory is actually supporting. The first use case, desktop, is bundled in our desktop edition, which includes technologies such as the support for Citrix, XenDesktop, Citrix XenApp, VMware View, Quest vWorkspace, and Microsoft technologies to deliver hosted application services from a central platform to existing endpoints in an organization, and obviously also to endpoints that are not managed by the organization to support a true bring-your-own computing model. Cloud Factory for server editions on-premise optimizes the deployment of very high-scale, very large environments, up to 10,000 of servers, and gives organizations the very powerful capability to run a true 7/24 operations with no fixed backup windows, with no change windows that are bringing down the services, with a swing capacity and a continuity capacity that seamlessly fails over. Cloud services delivered from our Cloud Server Edition platform of Cloud Factory gives operational teams the very powerful capability to drive the typical admin to server ratio that is seen in the industry, ranging in 30:1 to 50:1 to maybe 100:1 instances of servers per admin, into the range of 250 up to and over above 500:1 instances per admin. The SaaS edition of Cloud Factory gives you the immediate capability to start a software as a service business rapidly by having a platform in place that is proven to work, that has a true multi-tenancy capability with a multi-tier model to build your software as a service model and reseller model immediately. The number of applications that we can deliver off shelf is around 50 applications, includes applications such as hosted mass collaboration for Exchange 2010 and 27. It includes SharePoint, it includes Microsoft CRM, it includes Office, it includes storage as a service and other options. So Cloud Factory for SaaS Edition is ideal for telcos and carriers and service providers who want to start monetizing in cloud business with software as a service model. Last not least, Infrastructure and Platform as a Service Edition gives IT organizations and service providers the powerful capability to build a very versatile cross-cloud infrastructure as a service model. It includes cloud servers, it includes cloud storage, cloud networks, configuration of firewalls, and is a full powerful infrastructure as a service edition that also additionally manages the full life cycle of applications deployed on top of it. So it's not just to spin off servers and turn down servers. This is a true model with a dynamic scale of capacity and an entire 360-degree life cycle management of the platform. The service models that are delivered through Cloud Factory from the viewpoint of our customers being telcos, mobile operators, being service providers are threefold. So infrastructure as a service delivers everything up to the virtualization layer. In terms of virtualization technologies, we have a true multi-hypervisor vendor support. So we're supporting VMware vSphere platform, as well as we're supporting Microsoft Hyper-V, Xen Server from Citrix, and last not least KVM as a hypervisor. We allow you to shift workloads from one hypervisor to another. We allow you to shift workloads from one data center to another to be deployed in your cloud and give you a true capacity, including reservation model for your infrastructure as a service build out. We integrate storage-wise with technologies from NetApp, IBM, and other technologies. We're supporting virtual network configuration based on VMware, Cisco, and other technologies, and we can rapidly adapt to infrastructure that is already invested in your environment to create the connectors to manage this infrastructure as a service through our unified platform. Platform as a service is layering a number of application sets on top of the infrastructure as a service. This is truly managed through CloudShaper. CloudShaper is responsible for deploying those applications depending on the complexity to any kind of configuration on your existing infrastructure. We're supporting not only the layering of operating systems, of course, we're supporting deployment of databases from Oracle, SQL, JBoss, Spring, and others on top of infrastructure as a service. Last not least, the model where we have a wealth of experience and success in the market already, and to my perception we are widely advanced to any other SaaS model, is that we can deliver true application services as a business value to an end user that has subscribed to such services and give him the full flexibility of managing his services through the lifecycle with our powerful user self-service capabilities. Last not least, to summarize, why ASG, why Cloud Factory? We are the one provider that gives you a single platform that spans multiple cloud business models. We deliver an end-to-end integrated desktop virtualization solution. We have services that are guaranteeing and assuring that the quality of services delivered from Cloud Factory is equally good to the experience today found on most modern and consumerized environments locally. We have by far the strongest and largest global references across many industries that we've collected over the past 10 years, and we can guarantee really an outstanding user experience. The end user is our primary customer. He has to like our services. He likes our services. Hence, he wants to use more of services that are provided through Cloud Factory. We are aware of the big advances in virtualization. We leverage virtualization to its best. We support a true heterogeneous model. And last not least, we have significant service and reseller partner networks in place to enable our customers really to benefit from the advances in technologies from a single platform that we are supporting through its life cycle. We're now moving over to the demo, and I'm going to switch my machine over and going to introduce you to the concepts that we are supporting with Cloud Factory in some brief demos to give you an idea of where we are moving. I've now logged on to Cloud Robot. Cloud Robot, as mentioned before, is our infrastructure and service provisioning engine. Cloud Robot also holds all the relevant billing and reporting information in its warehouse. And Cloud Robot is the single interface, is the single instance that Vision App uses inside Cloud Factory for runbook automation, for workflows, for approvals, as well as for a multi-tier, multi-service management of SaaS and infrastructure as a service. If you log on to CloudRobot, CloudRobot immediately puts you into the position to manage your customers. Being a top-level organization administrator, you can firstly start creating a new customer, or you can edit the metadata of an existing customer. In this environment, what you can see is that, for example, editing an existing customer gives you the ability to add additional attributes that are used for billing relevancy, that are the master data of this customer. I'm moving back from this screen into the actual provisioning of a user. So just as a sample throughout this seminar, we're going to create a new user inside one of the tenants. We have selected the ASG tenant, which is our top level tenant in here, to become the relevant tenant where we're going to put this user into. I'm going to create a demo user, which I'm going to give the ability to be demo. I'm going to create a password for this user and going to set him into the position to use that immediately. Click on next. So it's a 3-step process in here. So as you can well see from this live example, CloudRobot checks the password length and the strength of the password, and since this is a live deployment, it would not accept passwords that are not to a certain pattern. So we have to recreate the password and move on to the next step in there. On step 3, you are able to select from a service catalog that is provisioned for your tenant, for your organization, which of the services you would like to subscribe to. So you can choose, for instance, in this demo, from an Exchange mailbox of a certain size. You can pick Microsoft Office. You can pick additional applications such as Microsoft Project from this list, and you can move on. Next, you get a summary on the next screen that shows you the services that you have just ordered for this particular user. And once you click on create, it could be an additional approval workflow that kicks in the demo. For simplification purposes, we just move straight on back to the order, and we can watch the order, we can watch the process of the user being created in the overview. So as you can see here, the status is being displayed, and once you hit refresh, you can see how the process of the provisioning of the user is going on. CloudRobot takes that order and splits it into granular operations that are executed against different backend systems that are truly automatically provisioned. Once the entire order has been commissioned, the process will turn into a full provisioning, or it will be rolled back if there is some issue. So with a hit of refresh, we can see the user is now fully provisioned. We can look into this user and again check what he's been in there. If you click on change, you can edit actual information that you've preset. So you can make him an administrator of this customer account. Click on save, or you can go back and change, for example, the number of applications that you have in there. Whilst the provisioning process is running, you see the advice that edited data is not out of date. So again, if we hit refresh in there, that information will update, and CloudRobot has provided the necessary information. In order to test the new user that we've just created, we can log off from Cloud Cockpit. We can log on again, and we use the user we just created. So in here we create a demo at ASG, and you add the tenants behind that. We're logging on now to the portal with the new user account. Cloud Cockpit creates the webtop for this end user, and from his webtop we now provisioned within less than a minute an entire new user, including his full user environment. He has a full list of applications that we already provisioned for him. From those applications he can pick and choose which applications are his favorite. He can create the settings in there. This Web 2.0 style webtop is the unified portal for cloud services, the unified access to cloud services. And on an additional tab, we are providing this user already with advanced self-services capabilities. So in here, he can go, being an administrator, he can go and edit other users in his organization that previously have been provisioned. And once he wants to change these users, he can go in and provide changes to these users. Additionally, he can create his own webtop. So we appreciate and reflect the abilities that in today's environment, users want to create their own personalized and customized webtops. So we can create my own ASG webtop and choose from web parts that are provided through a gallery of web parts. So for instance, we can add in these kind of web parts, we can add my applications to it, we can add my inbox to it, we can put, for example, Google Maps down here, and yeah, that's an encrypted page, there we go. And we can add, for instance, my task list to it. You can add my weather part in here. This just gives you an example how powerful the Web 2.0 capabilities of Cloud Factory are. Users can create their own webtops. Admins can preset webtops for the organization. The whole webtop can be customized to your organizations, to your organization and CI. So supporting true multi-tenant capabilities, each tenant can have his own customization, his own look and feel of the webtop. From an easy-to-use interface, the user can himself change the language of the environment. We just provisioned 2 languages in here. We're supporting up to 14 languages currently, and it can be easily extended from a localization perspective. So I can switch my webtop into a different language immediately and switch it all back. So this shows you how powerful truly the capabilities are. You can rearrange web parts in here. You can resize web parts that are in here on your webtop. So you can scale Google Maps, for instance, to span your entire screen. And once you're finished with that, your webtop is saved in a database and is accessible from any device, including iPads or Honeycomb devices from tablets. So this gives you the immediate capability, and obviously you can also launch applications out here immediately. Applications can be any type of technology. To show you some, last not least, some practical use of this, I have logged onto my ASG webtop in our organization, and I just want to show you, for example, how powerful the capabilities are that we also provide on the monitoring side. So we have our own dashboard, our own cloud dashboard, that actually gives you an overview of the state of your cloud business in your organization. So here at ASG, we have this fantastic webtop dashboard that gives you the status of all your services in the organization. So for example, if you want to have a look into your business and see how customer support is doing, we can actually see here that, for example, our call centers are doing fine. We can have a detailed look into the infrastructure of our WAN network, so we see our geographic spread of our data centers here in the US, and we can dig into one of our data centers, for instance, into the data center of our Denver, and we can see here on a detailed analysis what was going on, for instance, in this week. We can update those reports that give you an absolute granular view of your information depending on the role-based access. We integrate into existing monitoring and system management solution. Our cloud dashboard builds an umbrella across that and gives you all the powerful information that you are typically interested in. And so this is the fantastic view that we see here, are inside ASG with the different services. And if you want to go back to see your enterprise at a glance, you got a full view on here, and you can also have a look into your change log, what's going on in ITSM in the organization. So this has been a brief demo of the powerful capabilities of Cloud Factory. If you're interested in getting more information in technical analysis, in more technical details, please feel free to contact any of our sales representatives, any of our pre-sales representatives of my organization, and we're happy to give you a more detailed, a more technical introduction. And of course, we can also do discovery analysis in your organization to map what your requirements are, what your current status is, and find out how Cloud Factory could actually help you to scale and improve your business immediately. Thanks for your attention, and I hope to speak to you soon in person. Have a great day. Bye-bye.